So let's talk about it. I'm going to touch on something I've touched on several times in the past, and that has to do with...
Welcome to Alcmy Intuitive Arts for entertainment only. Use your discernment, all rights reserved. Everyone is welcome. Do no harm. Join our community. Thank you.
The supply chain. So in the past, I think 3 years, I have been talking about the supply chain. And the supply chain is in a situation now where it's beginning to become evident that we're going to see some problems. Now, in my psychic or channeled readings, I talked about over the years about how we are going to see less and less and less of different products on the shelf. And I think we're all noticing that by now. I also discussed the situation about the war in the past, and I think we're seeing the outcome of that now. But I want to touch even more on the supply chain aspect, because this is even bigger than we realized. It is becoming a huge, huge, huge situation. This is related to the impact of the war, of oil, and how the lack of conclusion on this situation is stretching out the time frames of us being able to get the goods and supplies that we need. And this is across the board. This can be medication, it can be, regular goods like clothing, shoes, many things are imported from China and other locations, and we're seeing a lot of shortage in terms of, planes being able to fly their normal routes. We're seeing airlines that were close to the margin, those are starting to shut down, like Spirit Airlines is the first casualty. We may see more casualties. But what we are really going to see is, as this situation becomes more of an issue with the supply chain, we're going to see that we are going to not be able to get the goods that we need, and along with that, we're going to see prices skyrocket. We're already seeing that. We're seeing that with oil. Where I live, gas is $6 a gallon, and that's for unleaded. And when you get up into premium, it's well over $6, pushing $7. So this is just going to continue to go up as we are dealing with these unresolved issues and the inability for ships to move cargo or to have enough oil to move cargo. And this also goes for planes. Some things move on planes as well. And this is even impacting us at home, because obviously trucks, semi-trucks move goods. We're going to see, everything tightening. we're going to see the things that we're used to having disappear from the shelves, or we're going to have to pay a fortune. Once we chew off this inventory, if this issue isn't solved, we're going to be left with whatever we can get. So this is a huge issue, and I don't think people even realize how significant it is. Many airlines are really monitoring the amount of fuel they have. This is going to reduce travel, just general personal travel, business travel, etc. And, you know, again, that's going to impact the cost of everything. So we're looking at extreme measures that are going to be coming to us if we don't have resolution on this supply chain issue. And at this point, it doesn't look like we are going to have it. In fact, I predict that in terms of our options of what we can purchase, it's going to get very boring. Clothes are going to get boring. You know, the selection of products that we choose is going to be so limited that it's just going to be not even fun anymore to shop, because it's going to be so painful. And let's mention how difficult travel, just vehicle travel, is going to be, unless of course you have an electric car. Having an electric car may ease that some, but even electric cars are dependent upon oil and upon that kind of fuel, because we have to have the parts to make these cars. And so, you know, this is not a problem that's going to solve itself quickly. And even if it did get solved tomorrow, we have such a long supply chain that it's going to take time, 6, 8, 9, 12 months to resolve. So consider this when you are thinking about what you are buying and planning for the future, and, you know, limiting what your expenditures are going to be, because everything is going to be affected. So with that said, peace, love.